All right, try to do a little bit of a video as I go. I just brought in a Quicke X4 loader. I'm gonna be mounting it on my new Holland TD5050. Started unboxing everything last night, and I gotta put this subframe on all these pieces, and they're stinking heavy. And then I gotta remove the battery, take the battery box off. I might even have to change the bracket on the muffler. And then I think I might have to do something with the fuel tank on the far side. So anyhow, you know, when you are in the middle of one job, so I'm building beehives and I'm trying to replace slopes on this truck, and now I'm bringing in fertilizer, and I kind of want to get this loader on because I bought a blade for this tractor, and there's no way I'm going to do that without getting the gantry over here. So here we are. Anyhow, I'll keep you posted. Just continuing on here with this Quicke X4 loader install on a New Holland TD5050. Oh my word. There's no videos anywhere on it. We did have one little screw up with the parts list. I think I had said something about that. I was right. They had the wrong parts list with the right diagram. So I got the right parts list, and that made sense because then at least I knew the right size of spacers that I was supposed to have in here. So by the time you get this mounted on here, and then you get the subframe, and then I got the other subframe on there because I was worried that it was a different width than what the loader is. So I did just put some levels on here, and then I was able to hold them on there, and then measure across the subframe. And I think I'm within a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch, which there is some flex on this loader. And so I'm hoping that that is right, because I'm just getting to the part now where I need to suck everything together. You do have to drop the gas tank down. It does say something about that. So I did take the step off, which you kind of have to. It's a bit of a pain, but then you can have a clear shot in here. On this side, I did not loosen the the cab mount. And that seemed like it worked way better, because I did take the cab mount off I'll call it the passenger side, because you had to remove the battery box and everything. And now I've been fighting with this to get it bolted back up with everything loose. So when I loosened the far side, the whole cab come down. So then I had to lift the cab up with the gantry, and then I've got this hydraulic jack underneath, and that's enough to get it. The whole cab is stiff enough that it's all just coming up, even if I'm just on this far corner. I don't have a jack on the other side. So that part, I guess, is working. And then they had forgot to send the right spacers. That is one thing that I'm missing, because in behind here, they're missing a whole bunch of spacers. So I went to town yesterday, and I just bought a whole bunch of grade 8 washers and nuts. So I'm hoping that if I I'll make my own spacers, and this slides right over. Like, this nut is just a little oversized, and it's perfect. And I thought I would go with grade 8. I was going to cut some pipe and then just machine it with the lathe to whatever I needed for a spacer, but I was worried that pipe material might be a little bit soft, and if there was a little bit movement, I was worried about it wearing, is where with this grade 8 stuff, and then I can just add a washer in to make a shim, whatever, then I shouldn't have to hopefully machine anything. And then, yeah, then we'll get these bottom brackets on. But it's been a job where it's like, you kind of get annoyed, and so then you stop working on it for a bit and then start again. And I should have just slaved on through, or got some help doing it, and then I would have probably wouldn't have taken as long, and I wouldn't have got frustrated. But onwards and upwards. So we'll keep bolting this up, and then hopefully I'll do one more video and walk through as we go when we're getting the loader actually mounted on there and stuff. So, okay, this is a lengthy process. I keep hoping it'll help somebody that is installing a Quicke loader, even if it's just one. So I got the gantry. I was able to get the loader over top. It did fit from side to side. So that part is good. And then once I get to the hydraulics hooked up, I'll be able to mount that pin. I just need to push it back a little. But ongoing with the fight, so drop the bolts down, and then I left that cab mount bolted up, which I think was still the smart thing to do. But them 4 bolts in there, there's 2 here and 1 up there, and then 1 on the outside that's in a super pain spot to get to. They were nothing short of a fight. So I still recommend, because they're spacers, they did seem all messed up. I'm not a fan of that. I would still get some of those nuts and washers. And that bag I had yesterday, I'm down to my last grade 8 washer so that I could put shims in wherever I needed to. So you'll see right here on the bottom ones, that's all shims. Shims in the nuts, I used that for spacers because I didn't have enough of their spacers, and they definitely were the wrong size. So everything is now tight. This was a little bit out. I didn't want to put shims behind it. I sucked it in. There might be a little pressure on the cab mount there. I still think that's satisfactory. So all I have left is to mount this back bar. I have this one here, and then there's a cross member that goes across from here to there, which I'm hoping, because that's supposed to fit in between right here. So I know that's going to be a bit of a pain too, but then I can put the gas tank back up once all of them are tight. So onwards and upwards. This back piece actually fit not too bad. I was somewhat impressed with that. So I'll keep going here, and then I'll try to do one cleanup video once everything's hooked up, or when I'm doing the hydraulics, because that'll be kind of the next challenge. So, okay. All right, this will conclude the Quicke Loader install X4 on a New Holland TD5050. What a workout. Again, if I had have been more, what do you call it, on the ball. I did work on it 2 hours. If I had just stayed dedicated to it. But it seemed like such a fight that I really struggled. So it all works. I guess the end result is I'm happy. I did have to go and get a couple of more bolts that they were missing. The spacers was a big deal. And then this one has the valve bank outside. And then I run the hoses up through underneath the cab mount. I still just got to mount the step. And then they just hooked back here. I had to take off one valve cap, and then there was kind of a U thing there. I hooked it all up like it said in the diagram, and then the loader up down was wrong. But I imagine that could happen depending on what kind of model. So I had to switch the bucket hoses around, and I did turn the handle, I guess a 90, so it was the other way. And then now I click this in, and I can't pull it back off to turn it that 90 to get it, but I'll work on that. Other than that, I don't know what to say. I hope I'm happy with the loader. It seems like it's a well-built loader itself. It was just all the mounting that was a super pain. But I guess you got to like a challenge, right? So anyhow, if you have any questions or you end up installing one of these loaders on a TD5050, just drop me a comment, and I could help you where I can, I guess, or what I did. So, all right, take care.